Welcome to Stoic Wisdom. You probably clicked on this video because of the thumbnail. Maybe the title stirred your curiosity. Maybe something deep inside of you whispered, I need to know this. Whatever the reason, you're here, and I want you to listen very closely. Sign 1. Women don't love you. They love how you make them feel. Let me start with the secret that most men will go their entire lives never truly understanding. Women don't fall in love with you, not your face, not your wallet, not even your personality and the way you think. What they actually fall in love with is how you make them feel. To a man, love often looks logical. We might say, she checks all the boxes, she's kind, she's beautiful, she's supportive. That must mean I love her. Men often approach relationships through reason, but to a woman, love is not a checklist. It's not built on logic or reason. To her, love is an experience. It's an emotional storm. It's a wave she wants to be swept up in. Think about it. You could be the most successful, handsome, well-dressed man in a room. But if she doesn't feel something powerful when she's around you, if her emotions don't shift when you walk in, she'll forget you as easily as yesterday's news. Psychologists call this emotional imprinting. It's the invisible process by which a man creates deep, unforgettable feelings in a woman's mind and body. It's why a woman can meet two men on the same day, one who says all the right things but leaves her bored, and another who teases her, challenges her, makes her laugh until she can barely breathe. Guess who she'll be thinking about that night? It's not fair. On paper, the first man might be the safer choice, the one who looks like the better partner, but the truth is she'll always gravitate toward the man who makes her feel alive. And this is exactly where most men fail. They try to impress her with their accomplishments. They try to convince her with logic. They try to prove their worth like they're applying for a job. But women don't fall for a resume. They fall for a roller coaster. The men who women obsess over are the ones who create a journey of emotions, tension, excitement, comfort, and even mystery. They don't just give her attention, they give her an experience. This is why women so often go back to their exes, even when they swear they're done. It's not because of who he is, it's because of how he made her feel. He created an imprint, and until another man creates a stronger one, she'll always be drawn back. Stoic insight connection. Now here's where Stoic philosophy intersects with this psychology. The Stoics taught that human beings are driven by impressions, by the feelings and interpretations we attach to events, not the events themselves. Epictetus said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. The same principle applies here. A woman is not moved by the man himself, the thing. She is moved by the impression, the emotional experience she associates with him. And if you understand this, you unlock one of the greatest secrets of love. Sign 2. The more you chase, the less she feels. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever sent a text and then stared at your phone waiting for a reply? Minutes tick by, then hours, and suddenly your mind is racing. Did I say something wrong? Is she losing interest? Should I double text? That slow burning anxiety is familiar to almost every man alive. But here's the twist. Flip the situation around. Think about the last time someone was too available for you. Maybe it was a friend who never gave you space. Maybe it was a girl who texted back instantly every single time. Maybe it was someone who said yes to everything you asked without hesitation. How did that make you feel? If you're honest, it probably drained the excitement. It created no spark, no tension, no craving. Because here's the truth most men don't want to face. Women are wired for anticipation. The dance of attraction thrives on tension, mystery, the possibility of loss. A man who is always available, always texting, always eager, removes that tension completely. And when there's no tension, there's no electricity. Here's a harsh truth. When a man chases a woman, he destroys the very attraction he's trying to build. The psychology of chasing. At its core, chasing is about imbalance. Think of attraction like a scale. When two people are equally invested, the scale balances. There's harmony. But when one person tips too far, when one side is overinvested, The balance breaks. The moment she knows she completely has you, her brain relaxes. And when her brain relaxes, attraction fades. Because desire doesn't live in comfort, it lives in uncertainty. This is why the same woman who ignores one man's desperate texts will stay up all night thinking about another man who hasn't messaged her back. It's not that she's cruel or manipulative, it's biology. Her emotions are stirred by the unknown. Why scarcity creates value? Let's step back. Imagine gold. Why is it valuable? Because it's scarce. Because you can't pick it up on every street corner. Now imagine water. In the desert, it's priceless. But in a city with endless taps, it's almost free. Human psychology works the same way. The more abundant something is, the less value we assign to it. The rarer it feels, the more our mind obsesses over it. This is why always being there backfires. A man who is constantly available becomes like tap water. She doesn't even notice he's there. A man who is selective with his time, who doesn't hand over all his energy on a silver platter, becomes like gold, precious, desirable, unforgettable. The Stoic perspective: control yourself, not her. Here's where Stoic wisdom sharpens this truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Most men who chase are trying to control the woman. They want to control her attention, her replies, her interest. But the Stoic man doesn't play that game. He controls himself, his focus, his emotions, his energy. And paradoxically, when he stops chasing, women start moving toward him. Why? Because his self-control makes him rare. It makes him unpredictable. It makes him magnetic. A woman knows that if she loses him, she's not getting him back easily. And that thought alone creates tension, the very fuel of attraction. A real-world example. Let me paint the picture with a story. Two men meet the same woman at a party. Man A showers her with compliments. He texts her 5 times before she even gets home. He makes his interest so obvious that she never once has to wonder. Man B is different. He talks to her, makes her laugh, then walks away first. When she messages him the next day, he takes hours to respond, but when he does, his reply is thoughtful, witty, and leaves her smiling. Who do you think she'll be thinking about that night? It's not fair. Man A might be more genuine. He might even be more loyal. But Man B left her with tension. He made her wonder. And in attraction, wondering is everything. Key takeaway. Stop chasing, start leading. When you chase, you smother the spark. When you lead with calm, stoic strength, you give her something much rarer: anticipation. The truth is simple. Women don't crave certainty. They crave the thrill of uncertainty. And the man who can give her that experience will always stand out from the crowd. Section 3. Why women don't really want a nice guy. They want an unshakable man. We live in a world full of nice guys. Men who think that being agreeable, available, and endlessly accommodating is the golden ticket to a woman's heart. They smile too much. They say yes to everything. They bend until they break. And then when she loses interest, they're left scratching their heads, wondering, "But I treated her so well. Why didn't she choose me?" Here's the uncomfortable truth. Women say they want a nice guy, but deep down, they don't. Not really. What they truly want is a man who is kind, but not weak. Kindness versus weakness. Let's draw a line between the two. Kindness is strength under control. It's generosity, confidence, the ability to treat others with respect while never compromising your own boundaries. Weakness is disguised as kindness. It's saying yes when you really want to say no. It's agreeing to things you resent just to avoid conflict. It's mistaking compliance for compassion. And women know the difference instantly. A woman may enjoy the attention of a weak, nice guy, but she won't respect him. And without respect, desire fades. The respect principle. Here's a law of attraction. Most men don't learn until it's too late. If a woman doesn't respect you, she cannot love you. You can shower her with gifts. You can praise her endlessly. You can sacrifice your own needs for hers. But if she senses you don't have a backbone, her attraction will wither. Why? Because women are not searching for another friend. They're not searching for another therapist. They're searching for a man they can lean on when the storms of life come. A woman doesn't test you because she wants to ruin you. She tests you because she wants to know if you can withstand pressure. The Stoic man, calm in chaos. This is why women are addicted to Stoic men. Picture this: chaos erupts. Maybe she's emotional, upset, or testing your patience. The average man panics. He reacts. He raises his voice. He scrambles to fix everything immediately, hoping to restore peace. But the Stoic man, he doesn't flinch. He remains steady, calm, grounded. He listens, but he doesn't get dragged into the storm. He doesn't beg for approval. He doesn't collapse under pressure. And in that moment, her subconscious whispers, "This man is unshakable. I can trust him. I can respect him." The unshakable frame. The Stoics had a concept called the inner citadel, The Stoics had a concept called the inner citadel, a fortress within the mind that no external storm can breach. Every man must build this citadel if he wants lasting respect. When she pulls away, you don't chase. When she lashes out emotionally, you don't crumble. When life throws challenges, you don't complain. You adapt. This doesn't mean you're cold. It doesn't mean you lack emotion. It means your emotions serve you instead of enslaving you. And to a woman, that's intoxicating. A modern story. I once knew two men, let's call them Adam and Daniel. Adam was the classic nice guy. He worked hard, had a stable job, and treated his girlfriend like royalty. He never disagreed with her, never challenged her, never said no. Daniel was different. He wasn't rude or arrogant. He was kind, funny, but firm. If he disagreed, he said so. If she tested him, he smiled and stood his ground. Guess who she stayed with? Not Adam, the one who gave her everything. She stayed with Daniel, the man she could never shake. Because Adam's love felt like a safety net, but Daniel's love felt like an adventure. The takeaway. Women don't want another man who bends. They want a man who stands. So be kind, be generous, but never trade your strength for approval. Because in the end, it's not the nice guy who wins, it's the unshakable man. Stoic wisdom. Recap. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." The Stoic man is willing to be misunderstood, even disliked, rather than betray his principles. And that is exactly why women respect him. Section 4. Emotional tests. Why women push boundaries and what they're really looking for. If you've ever dated a woman, you've been tested. Maybe she rolled her eyes at something you said. Maybe she poked at one of your insecurities. Maybe she gave you the dreaded silence just to see how you'd react. And in that moment, you probably thought, why is she doing this? Why can't she just be direct? Here's the truth. Women test men not to torture them, but to reveal them. The hidden purpose of tests. Think of it this way: if you were hiring a bodyguard, would you test his strength before trusting him with your life? Of course you would. Women are wired to do the same thing with men, not consciously, but instinctively. Her tests are not about cruelty. They're about survival. If she pushes your buttons and you crumble, she learns you're not reliable. If she pulls away and you chase frantically, she learns you're insecure. If she challenges your opinion and you fold, she learns you can't lead. But if you remain calm, grounded, and steady, she learns something powerful. This man is strong enough to stand beside me. Common test, you'll face the silence test. She pulls back communication to see if you lose control. The jealousy test. She mentions other men to see if you become insecure. The disagreement test. She challenges your opinion to see if you fold. The emotional storm test. She unleashes her emotions to see if you panic. Each one is a mirror reflecting your inner strength or your weakness. The Stoic response. The Stoics train daily to control their reactions. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When a woman tests you, most men imagine disaster. She's losing interest. She's trying to leave. She doesn't love me. But the Stoic man doesn't create these stories. He sees the test for what it is, an opportunity to demonstrate his calm. Instead of chasing, he holds his frame. Instead of panicking, he breathes. Instead of breaking, he smiles. And that reaction alone makes him stand out from the crowd. A story of contrast. I once knew a man, let's call him James. His girlfriend tested him constantly. If she pulled away, he begged. If she hinted at another guy, he exploded in jealousy. If she got emotional, he got emotional too. She eventually left, not because she didn't love him, but because she couldn't trust his strength. Then there was Mark. His girlfriend tested him the same way, but he responded differently. When she pulled away, he gave her space. When she teased him about other men, he laughed it off. When she unleashed her emotions, he stayed calm and grounded. Guess which man she respected more? The takeaway. A woman's tests are not obstacles, they're invitations. They're her way of asking, can I trust you? Can I lean on you? Are you strong enough for me to follow? And the man who answers those questions with calm, steady strength becomes unforgettable. Stoic wisdom. Recap: Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." A woman's tests are outside events. Your reaction is your power. Choose it wisely. Section 5, the Stoic path to lasting love. Becoming the man. Women respect, desire, and remember. Now we arrive at the heart of it all. Love is not a trick. It's not manipulation. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming a man whose very presence creates respect, desire, and unforgettable impact. And the Stoics show us exactly how. 3 pillars of the Stoic man in love: self-mastery. The man who controls himself is irresistible. His emotions don't control him. His desires don't enslave him. He chooses his actions deliberately. Strength with kindness. He is firm but never cruel. He is kind but never weak. His love feels safe but never suffocating. Calm in the storm. When life gets chaotic, and it always does, he becomes a rock. His partner knows she can lean on him without fear of collapse. Love as a Stoic practice. The Stoics didn't separate philosophy from life. To them, every relationship was a test of virtue. Patience in the face of frustration, kindness in the face of conflict, strength in the face of pressure. Love, then, is not just about romance. It's about practicing the highest form of discipline, the legacy of the Stoic man. Here's the ultimate truth. Looks fade, money comes and goes, charm wears off. But the man who masters his emotions, who commands respect, who can make a woman feel alive while standing unshakable in his strength, that man leaves a legacy. She doesn't just remember him, she's transformed by him. Final takeaway. If you want lasting love, stop chasing approval. Stop trying to be the nice guy. Stop crumbling under pressure. Instead, build your inner citadel, master your emotions, lead with calm, grounded strength, because women don't fall for men the way men think. They fall for the experience. They fall for the emotional storm. They fall for the man who makes them feel alive and safe in the same moment. And that man, my friend, is the Stoic man.